sometimes you lose. And you're never too good to lose. You're never too big to lose. You're never too smart to lose. It happens, and it happens when it needs to happen.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to just be doing this video with you guys. This video for me is a little overdue because y'all know I love to just come on here and sit and chat with you guys. I know why you guys came here by the title of this video. I'm not gonna ramble. We're gonna get straight into this video. Please make sure you smash that like button, and if you aren't already, please subscribe and join the family, because it's nothing but good vibrations over here and wellness. We're all on our journeys to becoming the best versions of ourselves. So without further ado, let's get into this video. As y'all can see, I'm chilling. I'm on the floor. I wanted to get real comfortable when I talk to you guys about this because it's something that is so real, so fucking real. Let me tell you, your healing journey, the journey to becoming your best self, is a lifelong mission. There's always something to learn. Self-development, there's laws, there's attractions, there's, math, there's sciences, there's religions. There's so many things you can constantly be learning and evolving yourself. Once you involve your mind, you involve the way you think, the way you experience, perceive things, so constantly learning equates to a better version of yourself. I'll give you guys a little story. So growing up, I remember I always wanted to be a cool girl. Like, to me, the cool girls were the ones that had, this is before teenagers were adults. This is when teenagers were teenagers. Back when I was 14, 15, I had my little sidekick. I thought I was killing it. I had my one or two crushes that I like. Now girls are worried about 30 guys liking them. It's crazy. But I remember just being dang, one day I want to be a model. One day I want to be a cool girl. One day I want to be beautiful. And that's the power of the tongue. That's another thing, but we'll get there later. And I remember just being so hard on myself. So much so that I finally had got the guts my junior year of high school to submit myself to be most likely to be a model for my high school yearbook. And I lost. And I would never forget, this girl came up to me. And she said, "You would never be a model." Granted, when I was in high school, I was overweight, I was tall, I was one of 6 black girls at my school. It was a very small community of us at my high school that I attended. I was so heartbroken. And then my senior, it's either my senior or my junior year quote, but it was prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. That was my quote. And I remember after I graduated high school, I went to all the modeling agencies that I could get a hold of in Los Angeles. So I went to Ford, I went to Wilhelmina, I went to Next, I went to all these different modeling agencies in Los Angeles. And I was rejected, I was rejected, I was rejected, I was rejected. And during that time of me constantly being rejected, every night I went home and I would go in the bathroom when I was about to take my shower at night, and I would cry. I would cry because I would look in the mirror and I would be like, I see the lighting is changing. It's crazy. Let me see. Here we go. I would look in the mirror and I would be like, "You're not beautiful. You are stupid for thinking you can do this. You're not enough. You're never gonna be a cool girl. You are trying to pose as somebody you're not. You're not a model. You're not this. Nobody wants you." And that was my mentality. And it stems way deeper because, growing up, my parents were divorced, and the custody hearing that my parents had, the visitation rights were just a whole thing. And that's a whole story for another time. But it went really deep for me, and I would break myself down. Every time I put myself in that position and I allowed society to dictate my worth. I allowed myself to feel like my value was in the hands of people's yeses and nos. It wasn't until my last no, which was when I was at Next, and they said, "We don't want you as the model, but we love your energy, we love your light. Can you work for us?" And they gave me a job. And I was literally just like, okay, fuck it. Like, it's a foot in the door, better than any other opportunity that I got. And I just said it. And who would have known? Like, nobody knows. But what if I would have went to the next modeling agency? What if I would have tried one more time? You never know how close you are. But let me tell you how God works. If you don't give up on yourself, I went and I accepted that job. I was the receptionist for like over a year. And I learned. I was on calls with Chanel, Calvin Klein, like all these big designers, booking models left and right, booking flights, going to model houses, like running errands for the agency. I was like one of their top people that worked there. And I gained so many connections. And a photographer came in one day and he was like, and you never know timing. He was like, "You're so beautiful." And I was like, "Are you talking to me?" And he was like, "You are so beautiful." He was like, "I'm a new photographer. If you aren't busy, I would love to shoot you for my portfolio. I would love to add some melanin in my portfolio." And I was like, "Tell me when and where. I will be there in a heartbeat." As soon as I got off of work, I called my mom. I'm like, "Mom, oh my God, guess what? A photographer wants to shoot with me. I can't believe this." And she was like, "Oh my God, I knew it. One day I knew it was going to happen." And literally, y'all, like, I saved my money up. I didn't have much. I remember I had to borrow clothes from my best friend. I will, to this day, April, I love you. And my stepmom. I was borrowing clothes from friends and family because I didn't have many of my own. I didn't have much money. So I remember like going to MAC, and this is when you had, I don't know if it's still like this, but you just had to buy like $50 worth of products. So I think I just bought like a foundation and some eyeshadow palette, and they did my makeup there. So I got my makeup done there. I got my hair done. The day of my shoot comes. I'm so excited. And my mom was like, "Well, you can't go to this man's house by yourself." And I'm like, "Girl, be quiet. This is life-changing." And she was like, "I'm not letting you go to no man's house by yourself." She was like, "You either take your sister with you or you don't go at all." And I was like, damn. All right, fine. So my sister comes with me, and I'm like, "Pretend you're my assistant." So me and my sister pull up to this man's house, and I'm like, "This is my assistant." And literally, like, I think he knew that was my sister, because I'm just like, the whole time as the shoot's going, I'm just like, Bree, like calling her all her nicknames and stuff like that. It was definitely not giving work relationship, if you know what I mean. Fast forward, the photo shoot that we ended up doing looked so good. I remember posting those pictures on Tumblr, and literally the next day I woke up, it went viral. And this was before viral was like people's goals and all this stuff. Like, this was like when it just was like a fluke, you know what I mean? Now everybody's intention is always to go viral. But I remember it went viral, and my life changed after that. And I only say all that to say, you don't know how your doors are gonna open up for you. You don't know what life has in store for you. If you give up on yourself, I always say, if you give up on yourself, you're giving up on God. Because you are what He's made. You are a creation of God. I don't even know you, the person looking at this video, but I know you're beautiful. I know you have value. Because everybody plays a role on this earth. We're not born for no reason. You have a purpose, whether it's big or small. And if nobody tells you you're beautiful and you're worth it, I'm gonna tell you, but I need you to know you are. Fast forward, I have been in publications from New York Times to Essence. I was Maxim's Hot 100, and I'm a girl from Inglewood, California. This was definitely not something that I was ever thinking would happen to me. But I think that's the beauty of life. You know what I mean? Like, you never know how it's gonna hit you. And the more you talk down on yourself, the more you're telling it that you're not worth the things you want. So I wanted to start off with that. I know I went on a tangent, but I think it's so beautiful to know that life is literally, I always say, life wants you to win. Just as bad as I want to see you win, sis, life wants you to win. And I'm gonna give you some of my nuggets that have helped me overcome my feeling of like negative self-talk and stuff like that over the years. But I need you, if you're gonna really make the asserted effort to change, to literally implement at least 1 to 3 of these habits. At least 1 to 3 of these habits. and make it religious. Like, you don't put none of these habits before, you don't put anybody before these habits. You choose you every day. You have a purpose, you have life, you have a reason to be here.
Trust your gut. Be as patient as God ordered you to be. You are resilient. Your tenacity is unmatched. You are creative. You are intelligent from birth. And you can do and conquer anything in this world. That's why you were made a Black woman.
These are some of my favorite ways to overcome negative self-talk. Some of these I have incorporated just throughout the years. Some of them my therapist has recommended to me. And I just wanted to pass them along to you. So here we go. So one of the first things I recommend is identify negative self-talk. Identify when you're talking down about yourself. And by doing that, that means you have to be present. Live in the moment. Have you ever been driving and just something negative pops into your mind? As soon as something like that happens, you have to jump on it like a fucking can of rice. Like, be on it. If you're like, oh, I wish I had her hair, or I wish I had that, or I wish I had that, and say something good about yourself. I used to be really insecure about my nose when I was younger. And I'd be like, oh, I wish I had that nose. I would jump on it and be like, oh my God, girl, you a bad bitch. Like, immediately. Like, literally. I will open my iPhone up, look at myself. I'm like, you a bad bitch. Like, you don't need no makeup. You don't need no, you enough. Like, I would do that. Like, and that little is life. I promise you, it's like, it warps your perspective on how you see you and then how you think others see you. One of the famous quotes, I forgot whose quote it is, but it goes, I'm not who you think I am. I am who you think I am. And it just means I'm not myself. I'm who I think you want me to be. And you have to just be yourself. You can't go on thinking like, oh, they're gonna like me if I act like this. Be yourself. If they're for you, they're for you. That's another thing. If people are for you, they are for you. There's nobody's ass you need to kick, morals you need to break. There's no integrity you have to crack. You can be yourself. And if it's supposed to be yours, it's gonna be yours. You don't have to cry about it. You don't have to whine about it. You don't have to tear yourself down about it. Challenge negative thoughts. So if you have something pop into your mind that you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to pass this test. For example, I'm stupid. I think I'm a failure, whatever the case may be. Prove yourself wrong. Show up for yourself. Show yourself, actually, no, bitch, like, we smart as fuck. We're dope as fuck. We're gonna learn this, topic. And not only be good in it, but we're gonna excel. We're gonna master this. And guess what? They're gonna ask us to tutor. And then we're gonna get paid for teaching this thing that we thought were, whatever the case may be. You literally are capable of anything. You're not dumb. You're not incoherent. You're not enough. You're worth it. You're so smart. You're so intelligent. You're so beautiful. You need to start acting like it.
If you just know you're that girl,
yeah,
you just have no choice but to be that girl. And I feel like I'm that girl.
What if you don't wake up feeling like that girl? How do you be that girl?
You need to go back to sleep and wake back up again so you can feel like that girl.
Next, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. When's the last time you took yourself on a date? When's the last time you got dressed up and went nowhere? When's the last time you got dressed up and went somewhere by yourself? When's the last time you wrote yourself a love letter? When's the last time you looked in the mirror and sang your favorite song to you? And no, it's not cocky. No, it's not conceited. It's love. Date yourself. I heard this one quote years ago, and it's gonna stay with me till the day I die. It said, the relationship you have with yourself is the relationship you're gonna have till the day you die. We so often worry about every relationship, from friendships to work relationships to just platonic relationships to significant other relationship, romantic, whatever the case may be. But the one that we have within ourselves, we just push it to the side. We keep that last on the list. And let me be the one to tell you, do not do that. That needs to be the priority among everything else. I would say God and then that, but you know what I mean. Please prioritize your relationship with yourself and give yourself compassion on your journey. Be kind to yourself. A lot of our traumas start from childhood. I have little me as my screensaver. Everything that I do is for that little girl, because she's this grown woman navigating through life, still figuring it out. I'm not coming here to preach to y'all acting as if I got it all figured out. No, I'm not gonna come on here posing. But what I do have is real results, and that is a fact, and that I can share. Positive affirmations. What are you saying every day to feed your mind, to feed your body, to feed your soul? I have an affirmation that I keep on top of my bathroom mirror, and I wrote these down. They're my personal affirmations. I'll share a couple with you. My life is amazing. I am a blessing in human form. I am inspiring myself and others. I am leading with love. I am love in human form. Those are my affirmations that I say every morning when I'm at home. They're on my mirror. And you really start to embody the things that you speak within yourself. There is so much power in the weight of the tongue. Are you speaking negative about yourself, so much so that your life is now reflecting that? Change it. I am beautiful. Say that right now. Girl, get your ass up. Say that right now. I am beautiful. I am amazing. I am one of one. I am walking in my purpose. I am not defined by my past. My future is rich in every way. I am a light in this world. I promise you are. Surround yourself with positivity. All right, sis, you're going to have to put down the little NBA young boy from time to time, or the blah, 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 whatever. I listen to high vibrational music. Literally, there's tons of playlists on Spotify like that. I like to hang out with people who make me laugh. I actually just made a post on Instagram about who are you keeping around you too? Like, are you surrounding yourself with people who see your value, or are they using your value? Because you're valuable. But are they blind to it, or is it that you're blind to it? Like, you can be good in life without having to like stump over people, without having to shade somebody, without having to manipulate, project. But it's easy in this world for people to choose the negative. But I tell you this as God is my witness, it is so much more easier and so much more rewarding to choose the positive in life. Somebody asked me this in the Q&A that I did a couple weeks ago. Is it hard being the bigger person? I don't think so. I love being the bigger person. Now granted, look, I told you I'm from Inglewood, so I could get a little but I don't, because it is easy to go there. It's easy to get buck with people. It's easy to like get out of your character, but that's not who you are. What society has tried to condition you to who you should be. We're all in this world trying to figure it out, but you have a mission to protect your peace. And if you're hanging out with people who don't see your value, maybe you should let them go. Oh, this is my favorite. I am so big on journaling. Now, I'm a video journaler, to be honest. Not a pen to paper girly. I am like on my day-to-day life, like when it comes to like just taking notes or writing down quick thoughts. But when it comes to like me having to release, oh, I'm a video journaler all day. It wasn't until recent time where I was having a conversation with just, I think, a random person one day, and I was telling them that I video journal, and they were like, I've never done that. Like, what is it? And I was literally just like, you put your camera up like I'm talking to you guys, and you just release everything that you're thinking. No filter, no holding it back. It's a safe space. It's you versus you. And it's been a therapy that I didn't know I needed. I have created some amazing moments with myself by just letting my guard down giving myself a space to be free and release any moment, any thought, any fear, any insecurity, anything that I thought would, you know, look crazy if I was to tell anybody else. I just say it. I say it loud too. Own that shit. And there's regular journaling. My therapist recommends that. I recommend it as well if you're a journaler. Some people like video, some people like writing it down. Whichever one works for you. 10 out of 10 recommend. Please try it out. Set realistic goals. This is another one that I am really big on. Setting realistic goals. I remember every year on New Year's, I read a letter that I write to myself, and in that letter it's everything that I wanted to accomplish for that year. And you know, I will say over the past few years it's been very spot on, to be quite honest. I've been very aligned with when I read it back to myself, and I've done this for the past 7 years, damn near. And you know, I've had it where sometimes my goals aren't realistic. I will be like, you know, by the end of this year, I am going to have $999,000 in my bank account. Granted that it could be very realistic, but did I have the mindset to obtain that much money? No, not at all. In those times. Now, there have been years later where I would say I will be financially free, or I will have financial stability, and throughout that year some amazing stuff would happen, and then I literally would look and read that at the end of the year, and there it is. Doing the work is necessary to see the results. You have to be uncomfortable to become comfortable. And you know, being real with yourself is step one. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? So many women write down their dream man. What does your dream woman look like? What does your dream you look like? What is the best, highest version of yourself? Is she a mother? Is she a boss? Is she an entrepreneur? Is she somebody who, you know, has a farm? Is she somebody who is a nomad? Is she somebody who wants to, you know, have a garden? Is she somebody who wants to have multiple properties? Whatever that is, write her down. And then when you have that woman, build her up. What does she tolerate? What kind of man does she date? What kind of food is she eating? What does her bank account look like? What do her friend groups look like? And look at your friend group. Is it like that? Look at the food you're eating. Is it like that? And it doesn't mean it has to be rich. It doesn't have to be, you know, expensive. They don't have to be lavish. No, quality. And last but not least, get help. Like, I just started back therapy. Maybe I'm on my 3rd week now, if I'm being honest. And I've done therapy multiple times in the past. Sometimes it's too expensive. Sometimes it's not a good relationship. Like, you know, therapy is like dating. You got to find somebody who works for you. Not everybody works for everybody, and that's okay. It's a part of the game. I know this video has been so long already, but I will say one of the best things I've ever gave myself is getting myself a therapist. Somebody whose job is to not just listen and not judge, but help you become the best version of you. All right, y'all. This video has been long, but I wanted to make sure that I really got the chance to sit down and talk to you guys, because I care about my community so much. Like, I was on YouTube heavy, and y'all have seen some of my old videos where I was talking about just my life, especially last year. Last year was hands down the hardest year of my whole existence. It was like one thing after another, and I did not think I was gonna make it, to be honest. But I am so grateful to look back on those hard moments and see where I'm at today. I'm not gonna say it gets easier, but it does get better. I just want to be able to share that with you guys because I know we're all going through something. Life is hard, but it could be beautiful at the same time. And I just want to be a testimony to that and here to help you guys. So if you have any questions, please, anything, I will try my best to answer as many people as I can. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll have my @ right here. But you're one of one. And I want you to know that to your core. And don't let anybody get you off your feet. Stay grounded, 10 toes down on who you are. Like I always say, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. And remember, I love you, but God loves you more. And I hope you have a beautiful life. See you guys in the next video.
You be fearless every day, and when you don't feel like it, just pretend, girl. That's it. Really and truly, don't let them see you sweat. You have to work really hard. A lot of sleepless nights. Do not quit, but also try to take breaks. And I gotta give myself that advice. You gotta take breaks just to check in with yourself.